Hey guys, Marsinker here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we're going to be taking a look at the free-to-play unit from this year's Heroes Celebration, which is the Female Warrior in Black, is the only title they've given her. We've obviously seen that we're getting the Warrior in Black, which is technically Bardock, the like Super Saiyan Warrior in Black, Power of the Dark Dragon Balls, or whatever they've called him. This is one of the things that I talked about when we saw the reveal of like the first few characters, that it's very strange that they've started dipping into this arc from the Heroes anime when they're not going to finish it, because we're not going to get any more Heroes stuff, right? So there's multiple Warriors in Black that form Aos's little like crew. And then obviously eventually they're all revealed like who the characters actually are, and they're characters from different timelines. There's a future Gohan, Piccolo, Bardock, and then this girl, I think her actual name is Vidro. She's from the same, I believe, the same race as Lags, like the sort of glass ice like people. A lot of people just know her as Yamcha's girlfriend, because she becomes Yamcha's girlfriend, and people don't know her name. The game isn't telling us, because she's just called Female Warrior in Black. She's an interesting unit. I think her design is really weird, because they have kind of gone with the lore appropriate, like with the connection to Yamcha and everything, but I don't know how well that's going to work, so it's not something we're going to be trying out in this video. But she has a crossover leader skill. Obviously when she gets an easy A, it will go up to 77%, which should be next year. We know we're not getting a hero celebration, but they said they're still going to easy A the characters, so just like Toa released last year and got an easy A this year, she should get hers next year. Her super attack is supreme damage and raises attack and defense for 3 turns. So that's not bad. Like if she gets some additionals, she can get some like a little bit of build up, and it's for 3 turns, which means if she was on rotation, that would carry over for her next appearance. She gets attack and defense 150, additional attack and defense 100% when performing a super. All allies 2 key and attack and defense 30%. So she is a support unit. Great chance of performing a crit, and gets an additional attack and defense 150% when the character is the only crossover character on the team. So that's not what we're doing for this particular showcase, but that's an extra 150% to stats, as well as a 70% chance to crit. Or she gets an additional attack and defense 30% with each attack performed up to 120%, and launches 2 additional attacks, each of which has a medium chance to become a super when there is another crossover ally on the team. So she doesn't get as much stats, because even fully built up she'd be at 120% instead of the 150, but she can get she gets 2 additional attacks. She can get 2 additional supers in a turn. It is only a medium chance, which, I mean, that feels like something that they've only done deliberately, knowing that she's going to eventually get an easy A, and then I guess that will go up to high chance, even though, really, even for free-to-play units nowadays, like, this should be high chance, and at least, and then when she gets her easy A, goes up to great chance, but it is what it is, right? So get those 2 extra attacks. Then she gets attack and defense 86% for the character and allies whose name include Yamcha. So I'm assuming the way it's worded, for the character and allies. So does it mean her, or as well as the allies who include Yamcha, or is it just Yamcha? Because spoiler alert, we're not using her with Yamcha in this video. Randomly change key spheres of a certain type to int at the start of the attacking turn when there's an Earth-bred fighter's ally attacking in the same turn. So, I mean, that you could fulfill on the Heroes team with characters like Trunks and Goku and Pan and stuff like that. But interestingly enough, like, this connection with Yamcha, obviously, like I say, it's lore appropriate for who the character is and everything, but like, you can look, when I looked up their links and everything, not only do they not share a lot of links, I think the free-to-play Yamcha that we just got as part of the like new panel missions has 3 links with her, but they don't share any categories. So realistically, the only way to run them on a team together is to run like the Roshi, STR Dokkan Fest Roshi, right? Because then she would get a 200% leader skill from him, and then Yamcha would be under the other part of his leader skill. I can't remember if he would get the full 200. I forget what Roshi's plus 30s are. But I don't have Roshi. That's like the only way to run them actually on a team, or at least on a category team, where they would be on under the same lead. So yeah, I'm not doing that. I mean, I don't have Roshi anyway, so we're going to try her out on the actual crossover team, because her best link partners are going to be the other units like Toa, The Lags, who of course is the other like Ice Tribe character, shares I think 5 links with her. Although annoyingly, just like Lags from last year, they only have from the year before, because Toa was from last year and they didn't do that to her, but she only has 6 links, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, I mean, without any more delay, let's go ahead and jump in and see what we can do. So we've got Battlefield Diva, Shocking Speed, Shattering the Limit, and Solid Support. 118k defense. Yikes. So she's going to be getting what? It's a raise for 3 turns, so it's 30%. It should be 30% raise. And she's going to be getting 100% on super. So she gets another 120k. So she goes up to about 240. Then each super attack is going to be giving her about 40k. And she could get potentially 4 in one turn, right? If she gets the 2 from her passive and then a hidden potential as well. And then that does carry over to the next turn because we're keeping her on rotation. But I mean, if she gets supered, this, like, I'd like to use this event for a showcase. Actually, he's stunned now anyway, so it doesn't matter. I like to use this event for a showcase because you have the Invincible Goku in phase 2. But like, this event might even potentially be too difficult for her, depending on how this goes. And the thing is, like, I know we always have to temper our expectations when it comes to free-to-play characters, but on release last year, Toa was pretty decent. And obviously, funnily enough, now with her Easy A in this celebration, she's actually quite good. And like, she's one of the best Easy A's, despite the fact that some of the others are summonable units, right? But yeah, this character, 2.5 million. Then we get 2 additional normals, which is going to happen when it's only a medium chance. And then we don't get the hidden potential either. So, bit of a yikes. Man, that's such a low... And because the thing is, she's providing a little bit of support, which is fine. But that's kind of all she does. She doesn't have any built-in dodge. So she's going to be relying on that defense, which is not going to be very high. Like we're going to see on the next turn, we're going to carry over a little bit of defense because we got the super and it's for 3 turns. But this is the other thing, right? Like, even if you were going to run her, if you're like a newer player and this is your first year and you want to summon on heroes, which, sad to say, probably not a great idea considering it's the last one as well. But like, if you are a newer player and you're trying to put together a heroes team, and you have to use her because you don't have many other options, you're going to be using her as a 3rd slot floating unit, which means that super attack effect stack for 3 turns is essentially meaningless because by the time she comes back around again, it would have run out anyway. So realistically, it's kind of annoying. I don't like it when they give units these super attack effects that last for 3 turns, but they're characters that are clearly designed to not be run on rotation because then their super attack effect has run out by the time you get to use them again. So it's kind of annoying. So Battlefield Diva, Shocking Speed, Shattering the Limit, and Solid Support. She's now up to 371k start of turn, which is a bit surprising that actually that it's that high. We didn't get the Toa like heal this turn, did we? So I'm surprised it's gone up by so much considering we got 1 super. Because it's only... Oh, yeah, no, of course. She does get the attack and defense 30% with each attack performed up to 120, right? So she got, what, 3 attacks last turn? So she got an extra 90%. Okay, so that's a little bit better because obviously it means on super this turn, when she gets the 100% buff, that means she goes up to being at like 740k, plus then the super attack effects as well. So she's going to go up to like 900k. But she doesn't have any other defensive mechanics. She doesn't have any built-in dodge. So I think we're not going to see a high attack stat on this turn for her, unfortunately. But since Vegito would absolutely kill Gohan here, we should probably just let her attack. Hopefully, one of those additionals from her passive can actually convert into a super. Because I would like to see her start of turn like stats when we've got more than 1 super on the previous turn. But 3.7... obviously still very low. Her passive will be fully maxed out now. But yet again, like, this is what happens, unfortunately, when you have medium chance. Then we got the hidden potential additional and it was only a normal. So she did a super and 3 normals, which, I mean, her passive is maxed out now, the build up to the 120 to stats, but she still only got 1 super attack during the turn. And like I say, even knowing that they're not going to easy A her for it, like we know she's gonna get an easy A, but it's not going to be for a year. Why she couldn't just have high chance? It's not like that would suddenly make her really, really good if those two additionals were a high chance to become a super instead of medium. So quite disappointing. But let's go ahead and do this. We'll grab these. So we're going to obviously get the supers that we need here in order to end this phase and then go into the Gohan and Goku phase. At least we can see what her start of turn defense is going to look like with her passive fully maxed out. Although, who have we got floating in on the next turn? Is it going to be Pan? Okay, yeah, so Pan will give some support as well as a couple of links as well. I mean, Pan does give 60% support to heroes, but I think they're only going to share like 1 or 2 links. So her better link partners obviously are like to... Funnily enough, her best link partners are... We've already mentioned the free-to-play, like the Lags, but also the Demon Goddess Poutine, like the free-to-play heroes characters are some of her better link partners, which also doesn't really help because all of the older free-to-play heroes characters are basically outdated at this point, right? It's only really... If we were considering what team to run now in the current meta for a heroes team, like, you could definitely argue that Toa makes the team, but not so much for some of the others, so... Yeah, this is a really bad turn. Innocence, Battlefield Diva, and Shocking Speed. So, I guess what we have to do here is we'll use the active skill for Vegito so that we can give him his post-super defense. And then we will go ahead and grab these, which gives us a bit of a heal. I mean, I might as well just pop an item here anyway. Go ahead and do that. And then, so we're at 530k with the support from Pan. I mean... That's a little bit better, because it means when she super attacks, she's going to go up to 1 million. It'd be like 6. It's not going to be 1.6, is it? She's going to go up to like just over 1 million. And then her super attack effect as well. So she might get up to like 1.1 maybe, which is okay. Like for a free-to-play unit, she's going to tank normal attacks, but it's after getting her passive fully maxed out. And that's on a turn with a unit that's giving 60% support as well, which is quite a lot. So, yeah, you can't be stunned, can you? So, I guess we'll just do this. Alright, so let's see what we are going to take here. Vegito should still have his damage reduction, and he got this active skill off, yep. So he takes double-digit damage. And let's see what the female warrior in black. I love the fact that that is just her name in the game. It's just female warrior in black. So let's see what kind of damage that she's doing here. I mean, if she was regularly getting like the two or three supers a turn, like that would obviously be much more helpful. It would let you max out her passive quicker, which is going to be probably the thing that makes her the biggest liability. So 6 million on the attack. Can we actually get any additional supers from her passive? Hey, there you go. We got 1. So we got 2 supers this time. We're up to 6.6. Hidden potential. Hey, all right, 7.2. Okay, so now I definitely really want to see what her numbers are going to be on the next turn, because we've got 3 super attacks that carry over our stats for 3 turns. 230k. I mean, that's actually relatively decent, because she went up to over 1 million damage after million defense after supering from her passive effect, but then she got 3 super attacks. So she would easily be at like, what, close to 1.5 million defense on that turn, which is not bad. Unfortunately not low enough HP to get the Toa heal, which is a shame, although I suppose probably also good in some way. Do that, because then she loses her dodge chance if she gets the heal turn, so go ahead and do this. I'm not worrying about the... it's funny how I was saying I like to use this stage as a showcase because it has the invincible Goku and you can kind of stall and see like units build up and stuff like that, and now I'm just not bothering to do that and just attacking Gohan. But realistically, she's already reached her peak, right? She's maxed out her passive. The next turn should be good because we're going to have the support from the STR Toa as well as the extra couple of links. And then she supered 3 times on the previous turn. So... should be looking relatively good on this next turn, as long as Toa doesn't get obliterated here, because I think she hasn't built up her passive at all yet, I don't think. I don't think she's dodged any attacks. So there's 1. Oof. Alright, so what are we looking at here now? Still going to be a very awkward turn. I'm probably going to have to just heal again. 652 start of turn. So, I mean, this is the thing. I know one of the reasons why people are disappointed with a lot of these heroes EZAs is because people don't like just raw stats, which makes sense in this meta where bosses are hitting so hard. But with 652k defense start of turn, she gets 100% on super. So when she super attacks, she's going to have 1.3 million defense on this turn. And she's going to potentially, if we get any more supers, right, her first super attack effect, she's going to be going up to like close to 1.5 anyway. And then if she does get any additionals, I guess on the best turn, if she gets the 4 supers, like the 2 from her passive and the hidden potential, she could get close to, I guess with support as well, right, because we've got support on this turn, but she could get close to having like 2 million defense potentially. But the problem is, as I say, you're not going to be running her on rotation. So depending on what the links are going to be for the new heroes characters like Fu or Demigra, she's going to be in slot 3 with potentially not a lot of links active. So yeah, I'm not really sure how well... Oof, yeah, that's bad. I'm not sure how well she's going to do in a normal setting. Because also, you've got to remember, this is turn 8. So if you take her into any, like, remotely difficult content, turn 1 is going to be very scary, right? What was she at, like 118k defense? So you've got to get her through turn 1, where she will get a minimum of 3 attacks. So you get 3 bumps from her passive. Hopefully you get the hidden potential, because then that's her passive fully maxed out, the extra 120% to stats. And then ideally, you know, you want to be getting those additional supers. But as I said earlier, if you are floating her off, it doesn't really matter how many supers you get in a turn. She doesn't carry those stats over to the next turn. And you can see here now she's at 5.3. So can we get another? Oh, nice. Okay. The medium chances aren't going to come in all that often, but when they do, then obviously this is going to be another big bump to her numbers. Like, oh damn, we actually got back. Can we get the hidden potential as well? Come on, give me the god turn. 4 supers. Let's go. We got the 3. Kind of want to see her take a super there as well, but I mean, obviously I didn't talk about her build, but I gave her full dodge and then just the rest additional, because she's got those 2 additional attacks anyway. But if she can get the 4th attack, that would obviously be helpful. Yeah, so I'm not surprised Toa got taken out there. Type disadvantage super. So yeah, I mean, I've seen like everyone say, oh yeah, she's bad, and she's definitely not very good, but I mean, for a free-to-play unit, I can't be too mad at, like, fully maxed out having almost 1.5 million defense after supering. Like, for a free-to-play character, the fact that she will be able to tank normals from most of the bosses in the game is actually pretty good. It's just the fact that, like, it takes a lot of work to get her to that point. And then, obviously, if you are just running her as a floating support, she's not going to have a lot of links active. So, definitely not great. I wouldn't say she's terrible, but I wouldn't say she's good. You know, it has potential for the EZA, I suppose, but other than that, she's just kind of Like, when we see what the new units do, because we've got the EZAs already, some of which are okay, we've still got units like Limit Breaker Vegito, Dark Mask King, like some of these characters that are going to sort of hang in from the previous year's team. She's probably not going to have a spot on a team. And then, yeah, realistically, you could use her on like a funny build with Roshi and Yamcha, but other than that, I don't really see a huge amount of use for her, especially because on that build with the where there's no other crossover characters, she gets extra stats and she gets that crit chance, but she doesn't get the extra super attack chance, which obviously helps her build up her passive quicker. So yeah, all in all, probably a bit of a miss, but we'll see what her EZA does next year, I guess. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.